Board of Education being held on Monday, December 18th. Our meeting is being video recorded and will be posted on the Ferndale School YouTube channel. All meetings in the Ferndale School are held in public in compliance with the Meetings Act. Printed documents discussed in tonight's meeting are available to the public upon request with the exception of any information protected by student or employee privacy rights. Board meeting information is posted on our website at www.ferndaleschools.org. If you do not have internet access and need information, please contact the board offices at 248-586-8652 by Thursday of the week prior to the meeting, and district staff will do their best to work with you. Roll call, Ms. Shepherd.
Segura.
Here.
Elter.
Here.
Fulmer. Here. Hart. Here. Turner.
Here.
President Dookie. Here. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 1.2, approval of the agenda. Does anyone have any changes they'd like to make to the agenda?
No.
And without objection, with unanimous consent, the agenda is approved. Item number 2, presentation of field day, Ferndale Upper Elementary with Principal Katie Jeffrey.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Last year I couldn't see, so from there, so I will have my device somehow. Okay. All right, good evening. I'm Katie Jeffrey, proud principal of Ferndale Upper Elementary School. Good to see everyone this evening. We are presenting today on what makes Fuel unique and about the ways in which we are holding true to our goals and our strategic plan at the district level. These are just some of the awesome things that make us unique. Hard to see because I put too many, I couldn't. One slide, not fair. So we've got top left, we've got our Lego League. We just had all of our Lego League competitions, and it's actually going to be the program we're highlighting tonight. We have not highlighted this program in about 5 years, and it's really grown, so we're excited to talk about them today. The middle top picture is our one word, also wearing an unstoppable shirt today because that is our one word. Last year it was believe. We are unstoppable this year. In the middle of the school here, you can see our anchor. This is our anchor image for the building. On the ship, and this is from a book by Peter Reynolds, but in the ship sail, every student in the school made a little square in the first 4 days of school about what makes them feel unstoppable. So every day when they're walking through our school, they can take a look and remind themselves that they are strong, they are capable, they are unstoppable. Top right is just an example of an anchor chart as well from our Black History Month celebrations last year that will go up again this year, where we focused on Black excellence and joy. Both of these things have been supported by one of our LADAs, one of our third grade language arts teaching assistants, Jen Baudouin, who's also a parent in our district, an employee, and an artist. So we have some really cool things that really try to, what I'm gonna share today is like about coherence and how everything we do centers around that one word or centers around the district's goals. And that includes what's on our walls, how our students speak on our walls, how their voice is present throughout the building. Middle left is Carissa Duncanson, our musicians, our fifth graders getting in on the ukuleles, in addition to the fact that we have 95, or actually about 93% of our fifth graders participating in band and orchestra this year. We've got our staff, Mrs. Harris, Mr. Takach, participating in equity book study. We have our mood meter posted in every room, and as well on, that is our office cart. So when kids come in tardy, I've talked about this one in the past, they come in late to school, they can tell our secretary where they are on the mood meter, and our teachers know right away if somebody needs to check in immediately. So part of our social emotional work. Our refueling zones is the next one to the right, where we get to combine like our fifth graders and our third graders, our Montessori and our fourth graders, once a month with team activities. We have Dashbot STEM, I'm going to talk about that. More refueling zones. Our Word Nerd Wall of the Week, that's a very popular thing at Fuel, where the kids submit words and we do word work, and it's part of our announcements. And then the bottom right is an example of our Equity Library in action. This was a lesson by one of our new teachers, Miss Reed, teaching fry bread. And the students, after they did the work under Goldie Muhammad's framework questions, they then made fry bread and did extension activities. So some of the cool stuff I'm going to run through here on these slides. Oh gosh, okay. I am getting old. All right, so under measuring empowerment and success, again, I've talked about a lot of these already through the pictures, but our focus is unstoppable. We are continuing our SEL curriculum work. That is something Mrs. Keefe and I got to present at the Michigan Elementary Principals, Middle School and Elementary Principals Conference 2 weeks ago. We got to present on how we connect with staff, students, and families. A lot of our work is through our SEL work, and all the work we've done the last 5 years on the strategic plan. And shameless plug, shout out, what was cool at our presentation is that the president of the National Association of Elementary School Principals, NAESP president actually attended our session and tweeted us or X'd us or something in social media. So. But that is because of the work of the strategic plan, where we have been focusing on the whole child the whole time. And this is my 500th year in Ferndale, and that I think has been a focus, but really under this new strategic plan, tying the academics and the SEL work together has really made us more coherent. We do weekly honor roll and student shout outs and word nerd of the week as part of our school culture. We do student-led clubs. Anybody here organize a club of my kids here or parent? Kids can make a proposal to run their own club. They generally have 3 to 5 people in them, sometimes 1 to 2, but they have to write a proposal, get on my calendar with my secretary. Then we have a lunch and learn program where they can run their own student club. So it's really about student efficacy, creativity, and student voice. So that's a big thing that's new the last year and a half. We still have all of our mental health supports. Thank you to the board for all of those supports that help us to provide a good tiered system of supports for kids. And then we have a great Sunshine Committee. I want to give a shout out to Mrs. Griffin, many of our special education staff, and a few other staff members who really try to do fun things for the staff and create that positive school culture, which we know is a big part of our strategic plan, and also helps with recruitment and retention. Educating our community on opportunities that fuel. We have a positive phone call home initiative, 5 positive calls per month. Many of our staff do many more than those, but that helps to bring, again, more coherence and clear communication, positive communication to families. Streamline weekly newsletters with our SEL focus so parents can work on the same thing. Our Communities in Schools is in our 2nd year. We are focusing this year on our community outreach. Our holiday assistance program is just wrapping up right now, and truancy advocacy. So we know post-COVID, truancy is still a major problem nationally, and that's where we are trying to work with our Communities in Schools advisor to support families that need extra help. And then extending our partnerships and opportunities. We're really getting into our STEAM and STEM activities in the classroom. Many field teachers have been checking out items from STEMco, which is an Oakland schools checkout system for these kind of high-level tech and STEAM activities. Dashbots, green screens. Yeah, give me some more. What are some more? These cool cubes. I know Jonathan's teacher's done it. Lots of really cool projects, but that link to curriculum, but also help students to integrate technology and technologies that are going to be part of their future careers, right? We've also had a big STEAM event through Code 313 where we got to provide many of those same opportunities to our 3rd and 4th graders. We had a Bloomfield Family Counseling just came last week to upper and lower with mental health awareness activities and goodie bags for kids. Play Labs is super robust. We just did our K-5 performances last week. Lego League we'll speak about tonight. Girls on the Run is back. Stride Boys Running Club is back. We have a good, wonderful partnership with Friends of Royal Oak Township. Mr. Charles Jackson works with our 3rd graders every year to provide healthy eating lessons through MSU Extension. And then we also have Playworks and now UHS. I know you learned about, I think, last month or the month before, our UHS teachers, which are juniors and seniors, taking a teaching class, coming and actually teaching our 3rd and 4th grade classes. It's awesome. And then just high expectations and inclusion under this strand. Our Refueling Buddy Zone classrooms is where we have a monthly focus. This month, for example, is Jolly. Last month was Gratitude, where we get our kids cross-grade level working together. We just started our equity book studies last week. Thank you to the CNI department. Teachers could choose from 4 equity-focused books. They taught them to each other in the fall, and then they all selected the one that they felt would best support their practice. And we just did our first visible thinking strategy, working on that and just continuing to push our practice and think about our biases. And then we also did a flex PL where we had teachers presenting on great things to do in a classroom. So one of the problems we often have, especially when we have substitutes and things like that, where we can't get teachers in each other's classrooms enough. So we're trying to embed some of that in the PL calendar. And then our student work protocol, which is new this year through our CNI department. It is amazing protocol that teachers are doing during their PL time to look at student work, talk to one another about practice, problem solve, and then everybody's practice toolbox grows. So I love that. The next one, measuring excellence. That's the next slide, yeah. Not too much of this has changed from last year, so you'll see a lot of, so if you were on the board last year, similar items. I'm gonna highlight a couple that are different and some improved things, but one of the key things we know post-COVID is to have more coherence, is not to change our focus every year, not to change the target every year, but to get closer and closer and add more supports and figure out what isn't working. So our MTSS systems, which is the biggest, most important thing under this part of the strategic plan, is that we are continuing to focus on small group instruction, working with our literacy coach, Tracy Yaks, small groups in math and ELA. We now do have a full-time math core person for the first time in a few years for 4th grade and a little bit of 5th grade. Our LADAs. We'll be starting the Back on Track after school program soon. We have a wonderful student achievement team process made of several staff, stakeholders. We're kind of like a child study where we bring kids to team to try and figure out what's not working and how do we help them grow and push forward. That has been up and running. And then one big thing I added last year that now has a little bit more meat to it, I guess, is we have some staff accountability, monthly check-ins focused on all of our classroom teachers. Sometimes it may be their agenda, but other times, for example, December is focused on their progress monitoring and cadence, their data dig, have they done what they say they would do, they wanted to work on, and also any needs they have or kids that they're worried about. So we're trying to keep a pulse on every single student in the building. Under this one as well, we have student placement based on interest and readiness. So we love Acadience and the data it's giving us for assigning interventions and support. Our student-led clubs, and then committees focused on things like Black History Month, our Reading Month, ability awareness, very focused, coherent activities each month for the kids. Under engaging students in authentic, relevant learning, I've talked about the STEM Co. and the STEAM labs. We actually, Mrs. Saunders, our media specialist, and Kelsey Perkins, our tech integration specialist, went and visited 2 STEAM labs in Bloomfield, because our STEAM lab will be opening up next year through the bond. Thank you to our voters. And so we're starting to do some visits and think about some really creative ways, how are we gonna make that a super innovative program for Ferndale schools. We continue to have project-based learning across all of our grade levels, and I already spoke to band and orchestra. And then improving upon our diverse and culturally responsive school practices. We have restorative practices. Our behavior team does weekly huddles focused on everybody we saw that week. So again, the goal is before they get to secondary, which is bigger, more hands in the pot, try to make sure nobody's falling through the cracks and figure out who needs support. And then all of our libraries that the board has supported over the past few years, and the PL calendar that we discussed. Under our last one, measuring environment success, recruiting and retaining staff, I've spoken to a bit, and I really do think the huddles, the PL calendar, classroom observations and mentoring, trying to get new teachers in seasoned teachers' rooms, master teachers' rooms, trying to just keep building support around their needs and keeping a pulse on what teachers' needs is a great way to recruit and retain. Instructional technology, I think Ferndale's done a fantastic job of making sure that all of our kids have access, so both at school and at home. So a big part of what you'll see in our classroom. And then the STEM Co, I think, is gonna take us to the next step. And then our flexible multisensory environments. We have the beautiful classroom furniture now, our alcove learning spaces, our gardens continue to be something we use in the fall and spring. We're doing a lot of cool Donors Choose projects this year for innovative things like more consumables for the science units that we're already teaching, an additional soccer net, like one of those huge ones, so we can do floor hockey like 2 ways. So just some cool things that I might not ask for in budget meetings, but that we know through Donors Choose and through, because we have some Donors Choose ambassadors on our elementary staff, we do get funded without having to ask the community, our own community, and it's pretty cool extension activities that they're doing. And then I just want to shout out our special education team. Our OTs do a spotlight on OT, on occupational therapy every month with tips, recommendations. They've come and led PLCs for Mrs. Keefe and myself to really remember that things that work for our students with, that receive special education services also can work for all students and are important for all students, like movement and lack of screen time, things like that. So we have some creative paraprofessional scheduling to try and fill some holes and make sure students are being supported. And then our weekly special education team meetings. I just want to really highlight them because their work together to support all of our students, not just necessarily their caseload, it continues to make us better. So in the future, what are we excited about? Our STEAM lab, yay, woo! And we're gonna keep working on team input and think about ways, what are we gonna do with that space once it's fully, we've got some really creative, good ideas for some cross-curricular work and enrichment. Improved academic outcomes, we have a lot of staff. Lower has done the letters training over the last couple of years, and it has dramatically improved literacy outcomes for our students. So really trying to push some of that with our 4th and 5th grade staff as well here at Fuel for students that may still need that level of phonics or phonemic awareness instruction. We've got upcoming changes in curriculum, and then we'll continue our small group focus. We had huge M-STEP ELA growth for 3rd grade in the spring. We were one of the highest improving cohorts in the county. And that is a shout out to Lower. Those are 3rd grade scores, right? 3rd grade kids, but that is a result of changed instructional shifts at the K2 building as well. And we really, the letters training, the LEO work, what the board has been supporting to change teacher practice through professional learning and being committed to those PL calendars really is making a difference for our kids. And literacy is the path to freedom. So it's really, really, that I'm very excited to kind of see that continued focus. And then now shifting to math, we need to continue to make some changes there. Growing student voice at Fuel is what I'm excited about. Expanding after school opportunities, they're all coming back since COVID. Continuing our student-led clubs and our community partnerships. And then I would like to increase in-school academic volunteerism. That's something that used to be pretty robust, fell off in COVID. We've got good field trips. Now we need, where's Trina? Needing to get more bodies in the building, supporting the academics, not just the enrichment opportunities. And then we're excited about an upcoming K-5 Family Resource Night, led by our CIS folks and some district support to provide some really great resource opportunities for parents this winter. Long-winded as usual. All right. Any questions for me before we spotlight program? Okay, I am super excited to introduce our LEGO League, our new, improved, robust LEGO League teams. Mr. Fennig is going to speak briefly to the overall program, and then we have, who do we have here? Jonathan Oatley, Sophia Nelson, and Matthew Miller are students who are going to come up and give you a little demonstration and a little information about what LEGO League is like. These are 5th grade leaders who are at all levels of experience on LEGO League. First year all the way through 3rd or 4th year in the program.
And I'll call my friends up here in just a second. We're going to put up some of our boards and everyone. Really quickly, hi everyone, my name is...
Go one slide over.
Yeah, sorry. While we're setting up, my name is Mason Fennig. I took over the Ferndale LEGO League, which we will now be changing the name for official First Robotics team after the program has grown this year to properly adjust for the program's name, which is First Robotics throughout the entire district. I took over the program 3 years ago when I first started here at Ferndale. And we started from having one team to now we have 9 teams as of this year. And our first team, the first year that I took over, when we only had the one team, we had about 8 kids to the program. And now we've pushed it over to 64 kids. That's 3rd and 5th grade across, not counting any of the lower teams that they are allowed to make as well. And it's been an incredible hit. We have 5 4th and 5th grade teams and 4 3rd grade teams. This year alone, we walked away with like 6 different trophies based off like the students' work and everything, which we'll pull up here in just a second. We had first place for design on our robot, and then we also got a 2nd place on that, and then we got a 2nd place for core democratic values, which our players will talk about here in just a little bit. But and we also had our 2nd annual fundraiser where the program raised over $650. We had a big movie night in at Ferndale and watched a Lego movie together, had pizza in the cafeteria, turned the lights off. It was like a really beautiful thing. And I just want to say the program has been an incredible hit. We've had a steady increase because we have not just 2, but like a ton of parent volunteers who coach. If you don't mind raising your hand here, we have like parent volunteers who just helping here all the time. The program is built by the community and is like stabilized by them as well. This year, 5 of all of our 4th and 5th grade teams actually got to compete here at Ferndale High, and the program was run by the high school robotics team. So we had this constant circulation of like upper experience and lower experience, and then the middle school team was even there as well. So it was really cool for the kids to see what they would kind of walk into, and some of these guys even got to see the high school and middle school robotics room. And since the program has been growing so much, we just had our coaches meeting last week, and the thing that we are really looking to set our sights on this next year is creating ways for the middle schoolers and high schoolers to kind of integrate with our younger friends so that they feel they have a good connection. And I personally know a lot of the players on the high school team because I have that connection with them too, and I know they work on the NHS, so we want to like kind of incorporate all those things as well. Not just, to like help them out, but also to create this huge program because like, again, we have amazing parents, but the kids who are doing it there are just doubling down on their practice. And it's really cool when you have old like high school kids come around and talk about how beautiful the program is. I've just been super lucky, and I'm gonna let my friend Sophia, Matthew, and Jonathan come on up here, and we're gonna shoot a few questions about them, kind of show what we do here at Lego League. Over here, you'll have our 4th grade board that was designed by the Ferndale Blockheads, which is these 3 and their 2 honorary members, the younger siblings, who've been at just about every single practice this year. And then we have our 3rd grade board over there. So if y'all wouldn't mind, Jonathan, would you mind telling us, like, what do you do at a Lego or robotic practice every day? Like,
You can talk to the folks sitting down.
Yeah.
So we practice our innovation project, which we'll talk about more later. And we also work on coding the robot to do the tasks on the board. And at the competition, each task is worth an amount of points, and you try to get as many points possible.
And John, like when you guys are like practicing at the school, like what are you guys doing with the robot? What do you guys have to do for the robot?
We just try out the code, and then we adjust it, and then we try it out again.
So we're doing a lot of coding. Like what kind of technology are you guys having to use when you're working on the robots and everything?
The kind of coding with the blocks.
Yeah. Like are you guys using, like what kind of, are you guys using iPads? Are you guys using computers? Like what do you guys use?
My mom's computer.
We get it. Sometimes Chromebooks aren't everything we get. And then Sophia over here is going to tell us a lot about the board. So what is the point of the board? If all our friends here are coming to the Lego League, are seeing the first robotics competition, what is the board supposed to do, and how does it help us?
So the board, we would choose a hobby that we all like. We chose video gaming, and we found out what is a problem, and we found out that sometimes people with special needs can't play video games. So we researched how adaptive controllers can help with those disabled people. And we created some of our own, like the dance pad on the board. And we have our solution, benefits, problem, and things to consider.
Thank you, so, very good. And so, Matthew, when we've been doing the practice, we got the innovation project here done. It is it's the final day of the competition. What do we expect? What do we do when we go there?
Well, we normally expect that we might win or lose or get a trophy or don't get a trophy. But we also try to have fun and we try our best. And if a goal doesn't work out, we go back to the home and we switch arms and we try to do it again.
Yeah, and so like, how does the board help with your guys? Like, what do you guys do at the project? Like, what do you have to do with the board when you take it to the competition?
So the thing that I do with the board to take it to the competition, you need to share it to 3 judges that are in the room that we need to talk to, and that determines if we get a trophy or we don't.
And they're just asking you questions about your guys' project and all that stuff?
Yeah.
And, are adults allowed in the room?
Not really.
No, just the people who are judging y'all usually?
And one coach.
Yeah, and I mean, can you guys just give me a quick sentence about like, what do you really enjoy about, like John, what do you really love about Lego League Match?
I'm not really sure what it is. I keep on being really disappointed in the team, and then the next year signing up for some reason.
And then you're just like, I can't go back, I just want to kind of win it, right?
Yeah.
And then this way you guys walk with a second place trophy, so I'd say it's pretty good, right?
What was their second place trophy in?
You guys had it in,
Core values.
and so what is that again? Help us again, who don't understand.
Fun, innovation, teamwork, inclusion, gracious professionalism. I forget the others.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, so,
That is awesome.
thank you, but yeah, thank you guys. This is just a really incredible program. These are like, again, 3 of the kids, of the 64, 5 kids who are there all day, like busting their butts with these amazing parents who come and commit more than 2 hours a week to these projects, to these kids, and they bring snacks, they work on those books together and help orchestrate and facilitate the groups. They do so much more than I could ever say, because like after school hours with our friends and working with Legos can be a lot. So the program is just as much with the kids as it is with the parents. So thank you guys, and yes.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Here. You guys
You
want to
guys
stand?
smile?
Well, we're gonna do another presentation.
Oh, no, I just brought the 3rd grade. Yeah, that was just that's what our 3rd grade team did over here.
I just wanna get us a Romney shot, 'cause it's not good.
Yeah, coach. Hey, come on. Yeah. Little. Mark, come on. Mark, you can come. You're just as much a member of this team, man. You were on it. Yeah, you guys were in there every day. You deserve to be here.
Yeah, where the coaches at? Get the coaches.
Oh my gosh, I was like, this person was saying, I've seen that.
Picture, because we gotta keep the
Yeah.
posting and
And we didn't even show off what the robot does. I feel silly now. I was a little distracted. Jonathan, you want to hold the robot, brother?
oh yeah, hold on.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, you hold your arm. Matthew, it was our speedy lightning speed.
Yeah, for sure. Here you go, sir. There you go.
Y'all wanna get out of space? Felicia.
Hide in the back.
Sorry, just tell her it's an egg in front of her. That's all.
All right, 3, 2, 1, I'm gonna take a few. Say cheese.
Cheese.
One more time.
Legos.
And I can tell you it was so cool to see the older kids working on the
The high school hosting, was.
Thank you. No, they did. That's special. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you all so much.
Awesome. Sophia, high five. That was awesome. Yeah, thank you guys.
How about you?
Carefully carry it. I don't trust myself.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Impressive, man. You know, it's like, go.
Thank you, parents.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that.
y'all appreciate it.
Give him his due props. Yeah. Holly is in high school.
Brings us to public comment. This is a time for public participation in the meeting. The Board of Education intends for the public to have many opportunities to address the board and administration of their school district. These include email, phone calls, face-to-face meetings, community gatherings, public hearings, and other public meetings. We welcome individual and group input into the important issues that confront our schools. As noted at the top of the agenda, this is a meeting of the school board open to the public. We want to provide fair and impartial guidelines of participation as required by the Open Meetings Act, and to encourage transparency and equal treatment for everyone in attendance. We also recognize that an effective meeting facilitates better decision and promotes openness by allowing more people to stay for the full length of the meeting. To meet these goals, please note the following. We ask that you identify yourself and list contact information on a comment sheet to help administrators follow up with you on your comments. If you do not wish to do so in writing, please identify yourself at the podium. If you need a response, please provide contact information with the administrator after the meeting. I will call on the people who have completed the comment sheets first. Each person will have one opportunity to address the board for up to 3 minutes. Comments or questions should be directed to the board president. Secretary Hart will raise your hand when your time is within a few seconds of expiring. This period of public comment is for both non-agenda items and issues that are on the agenda. Public comment will end at the close of this part of the agenda. In the event that the number of people wishing to comment requires longer than 30 minutes, public comment will be temporarily postponed after 30 minutes, and time will be added at the end of the meeting for those who did not get a chance to speak. Complaints about staff should be made outside of board meetings if they follow the applicable board policy. Please contact the superintendent's office if you have any questions regarding this item. The board cannot respond to complaints about employees in public. This is meant to promote fairness to the staff person and the complainant. The Ferndale Public Schools community acts with great civility toward one another. Please help us to maintain that tradition during the public comments. Trina Toko.
Hi, I'm Trina, and just want to, I don't normally, I'm lurking, but tend not to speak very often. But felt like it was an important thing for me to also convey some of the things that I've been having conversations with people in the district about, and also wanted to publicly put on record some of the challenges my own kids have had in the district, and why one of them isn't even here anymore. And I was really hoping he would not walk in when this happened. So this is my son Uriah, and as many folks have known, he has struggled with many of the same challenges that many of the kids at Lower, right, that we've heard for the last, couple of months have had. And in fact, right, Ms. Keefe knows him well, and people at Lower knew him well, and had many of the same experiences that the kids, right, and it's now been 7 years since, almost exactly many of the same experiences I had with trying to get my son the appropriate labels, the appropriate services, and the appropriate supports starting at Lower were not there. And it really wasn't until he got older, because people kept saying he doesn't have an academic deficiency, right? There is no academically connected disability. However, he was getting suspended, right? Many things were happening. And fast forward to last year, he was here at the middle school, right? So these things are not isolated to Lower, but rather many of these challenges experienced by families with kids with special needs are impacting not only our families, but certainly that of everyone in the district. Because when my son is unsafe in a classroom, I know that it's not just him that isn't learning, right? It's everyone. And I know that he's probably ruined a lot of days of really amazing teachers, right? So it's not just the kids that are being impacted. It's a lot of other folks. And my experience in this district has been that over and over again, even as someone who knows the law, more or less, right, that knows all of the rules, and that knows what to ask for, right? Because again, I've had to ask for everything. Almost nothing has been given to us on the special ed realm. Both of my kids have complicated IEPs. And I just think that there is a concern that I have that, yes, we're spending a lot of time talking about lower, but let's be clear, this is a district issue. And furthermore, right, so I had to take my kid to another district that would at least provide him with a paraprofessional, right? And within 1 week, he was at another district with 2 paraprofessionals, right? He had 0 in his IEP here, right? So that just speaks to the level of need that somehow, some way, is not being matched between services being developed for our kids. And then finally, I'll just say, I really do think that given some of the challenges that we need to consider allowing or offering our special education families, as well as those having discipline meetings, with an advocate in the meetings, right? Because so far, I've sat in only a fraction of the meetings, and I strongly suggest that we need to have a few more folks on the parent side to really try to make sure that some of the decisions being made and the information being provided to parents is accurate. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I have 2 kids in the district, a 2nd grader and a 4th grader. And I want to thank Trina for sharing her experiences. It's important to keep hearing these experiences. And also her call for advocates. I think I would double down on that. I'm also here to keep relevant the issues. We don't want to stop talking about them until they're solved. So some of the things we are hoping that continue, we get progress on. First of all, we want to, I'll speak for myself. I want to say that we appreciate the added level of detail and progress reporting that is happening in at least the lower newsletter. On things that are getting done to show progress in some of the staffing issues and things like that. That's a great first step. I also appreciate the coffee hour that we just had by the special ed director. That was great. However, I think it would be a great idea to have more of a public question and answer a meeting where more than just a handful of parents can come. And while this special education presentation was great, it was a presentation. We had so many questions, and it was an hour long, right? So, maybe it's scheduled over multiple days. Maybe it's multiple times. So more than just, parents who are available on Monday nights can come. Maybe there's childcare provided, right? So we want to get as many answers for people in the district from people who know as possible. Also, it's been presented that we would like to see a code of conduct established we understand that there's a code of conduct, I believe, for middle school and up. We'd like to see a code of conduct for the younger kids. That should be urgent. That should be, we should at least amend the code of conduct that exists where it can be applicable to the younger kids, right? It doesn't seem like a large project, at least to get interim code of conduct. Finally, there's been a lot of, I don't want to say damage or trauma, those may be extreme words, but they may be appropriate words, of at least what we've heard of in lower. And it seems like there should be some restorative practices, whether it's among family, it should definitely include families, it should probably also include teachers. But I think the issues must be acknowledged, and there needs to be an opportunity for discussion and restoration. Thank you.
Good evening. Maurice Telesfort, President of the Ferndale Education Association. A similar update to what I gave at the Committee of the Whole meeting. We protested or started our protests at board meetings to make sure our voices were heard. Since then, Camille and I have been meeting weekly to discuss the issues, to try to think through long-term, short-term, medium-term solutions. We are having a meeting Wednesday with about 12 teachers, administrators, restorative practice, trained people to try to think through more immediate solutions, because we recognize we still haven't fully addressed the concerns. And we have some things in the works for the long term, but we do need some more, like, right now, what can we do? We have a new mental health specialist who started there, a new social worker. We're welcoming their insights as people new to the district who have years of experience to kind of give us feedback on what we're doing with a fresh lens. The posting for the behavior interventionist went out. I don't know if it's been filled yet, but that's progress. We've had about 2 or 3 conversations about some kind of retention bonus for the current staff, so we're making progress there. The impression I get in all my meetings is that the concerns are heard. We just have to figure out how to move as quickly as possible to put solutions in place. So code of conduct, that is something that we'd like to see revised to be a little more explicit, but there might be other things we can do in the interim to address the concerns of the staff. So that's what we're hoping to nail down on Wednesday. So board, you could ask Camille, and she can share how that goes. So thank you.
Anyone else for public comment?
Hi, I'm Lauren. I wasn't going to speak, but in the last board meeting at the end, you guys were talking about what you love, and it got me thinking, and I just wanted to make a quick shout out. Gosh, I always get so nervous talking to you guys, and I know I shouldn't be, but I am. For 2 years, we've had bus driver Miss Nikki, and I just want to put a shout out there that we love Miss Nikki. She is so great. If you know Miss Nikki, you already know what I'm saying, so just want to put a shout out there. Bus 19, Gecko? Gecko bus, love Miss Nikki. That's it.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else for public comment? All right, public comment is now closed. Brings us to item 4, consent agenda. Request to approve minutes of the special meeting committee of the whole, November 13th, 2023. Item 4.2, request to approve minutes of the regular meeting November 20th, 2023. Item 4.3, request to approve new hires, resignations, and transfers. Item 4.4, request to approve bills and accounts for November. Does anyone wish to remove an item from the consent agenda for questions or discussion later? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Moved by Jonathan. Seconded by Jackie. Roll call, Ms. Shepherd.
Segura,
Yes.
Altar,
Yes.
Fulmer,
Yes.
Hart. Yes. Turner,
Yes.
President Dookie.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. With 6 yes votes, the motion passes and the consent agenda is approved. Item 5, action item. Action item. Please note that all action items being voted on tonight were discussed in depth at the previous committee of the whole meeting. We invite and encourage community members to attend our committee of the whole meeting to
Sure. The district is seeking approval from the board to finalize the purchase from Digital Age Technology for the following items: FEC digital clock and classroom audio visual purchase, configuration, and installation, up to $197,879.28. And fuel, classroom audio visual purchase, configuration, installation of up to $326,199.73. A district-funded bond project contingency up to $25,000. A competitive bid process was held or conducted in 2022, in which bid packet number 3 was presented. The total contract award that's being sought is $1.6 million to be funded with bond dollars, and is within the budgeted planned bond work.
Entertain a motion to approve item 5.1, request to approve technology bond update for 2024.
So moved.
Moved by Peter,
I'll second.
seconded by Jonathan. Any discussion on the motion?
If possible, I'm not sure if we said at the committee of the whole, but do we know when we were thinking about doing the update, the stakeholders who were involved during the update, like during the
Planning.
during the planning? Thank you.
Okay.
If we can find that out.
Ask me the question again, I
Like
apologize.
did we have any stakeholders in the update of the planning of the tech?
Understood.
And if so, who?
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like community members, students, staff.
Make sure that they know that this is actually happening.
Yes, or making sure if we're ever doing the update to the tech, we're just seeking input.
Okay.
Understood. I'll find out. And in what manner we sought the input?
Hmm?
And what method did we use to seek input from?
Yes.
Roll call, Ms. Shepherd?
Elter?
Yes.
Fulmer?
Yes.
Carr?
Yes.
Turner?
Yes.
Segleri?
Yes.
President Beebe?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. With 6 yes votes, the motion passes, and item 5.1, request to approve technology bond update for 2024 is approved. Item 5.2, request to approve UNOX home heat oven for Ferndale High School.
So this item is being brought to the board on behalf of the Office of School Nutritional Food Services. We're seeking to award a contract to Stifel Associates in the amount not to exceed $40,055, which includes 10% contingency for the purchase and installation of a double stacking combi oven for Ferndale High Middle School kitchen. In October 2023, the district was awarded $25,000 in grants for assistance with the purchase of new equipment. We're seeking to use those funds plus supplemental funds from the food service fund balance of $15,055 for the purchase of the equipment and the installation. A proposal was let for the equipment and the installation among 5 companies. Only 2 bidders responded, and that was between Stifel and Associates and Stafford and Smith. So we're seeking approval to go with the proposal presented by Stifel and Associates.
I'll entertain a motion to approve item 5.2, request to approve UNOX home heat oven for Ferndale High School.
I'll move.
Moved by Jonathan,
Second.
seconded by Jackie. Any discussion on the motion?
I was just gonna say I'm excited for the first pizza party to come out of the oven.
The fact that it was an air fryer
Yeah.
included, that just did it for me.
I was just gonna thank administration for the presentation about it at the last week. Yeah, very helpful, and also just like nice to know that there are all these considerations at every level of detail being made to growing out our capacity with these bond funds we have So I really appreciated that. Yeah,
She was. Okay, we'll let her
pass
know.
along my
Yes, we will.
appreciation. Thank you.
Roll call, Ms. Shepherd?
Boomer,
Yes.
Hart. Yes. Turner,
Yes.
Segleri,
Yes.
Elter,
Yes.
President Dookie.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. With 6 yes votes, the motion passes. And item 5.2, request to approve Unaccomi ovens from Ferndale High School is approved. Item 5.3, request to approve Ferndale School's 2020 bond program contract award recommendations, bid package fuel addition and FECC renovations.
Hello, everyone. So, as discussed at committee of the whole, we're requesting approval for the contracts for upcoming spring and summer work at FECC and Fuel. Quick recap, at Fuel, it includes the STEAM edition, the front of classroom technology upgrades and parking lot resurfacing, and at FECC, adding restrooms in classrooms, front of classroom technology upgrades, and parking lot resurfacing.
I'll entertain a motion to approve item 5.3, request to approve Ferndale School's 2020 bond program contract award recommendations, bid package fuel addition and FECC renovations.
So moved.
Moved by Jackie,
Second.
second by Sarah. Any discussion on the motion? I know the FECC parents or teachers are going to be happy about the addition of those back.
Man,
Yes,
that's a game changer.
I know.
So again, like, yeah, thanks to thinking about that student experience, because especially for that,
Yeah.
those of us who still have kids at that age, yeah, having the bathroom right there, very helpful.
Sometimes you just don't think about it.
Until.
And then especially it ties in with, after seeing the robotics presentation tonight, we're gonna have a STEAM room at Upper. That'll be really nice for
Yeah.
all the students.
Yeah, so a smaller one at lower and then a bigger one at upper, and you get to grow right through the whole district, so.
Roll call, Ms. Shepherd.
Hart? Yes. Turner?
Yes.
Segleri?
Yes.
Elter?
Yes.
Boomer?
Yes.
President Dookie?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. With 6 yes votes, the motion passes. And item 5.3, request to approve Ferndale School's 2020 bond program contract award recommendations, bid package for fuel addition and FEC renovations is approved. Oh,
Make sure he doesn't leave.
Is Andy leaving?
yes, he
He's
is.
leaving right now.
Andy, come on back.
Is he leaving for the night?
But he, because I was gonna acknowledge him. I was gonna acknowledge him. Is he leaving now? No, Friday. Is he gonna stay to the end
You're
of
going
the
to stay
meeting?
till the end of the meeting?
Oh.
Sure.
Okay,
Thank
never
you.
mind.
Gave you the shirt.
Item 5.4, request to approve FMS Project Lead the Way and Technology course name changes.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
As we talked about a couple weeks ago at Committee of the Whole, we would like to change the name of the Ferndale Middle School Project Lead the Way classes from Project Lead the Way 1, 2, 3, 4 to Project Lead the Way Design and Modeling, Automation and Robotics, Computer Science for Innovators and Makers, and then Medical Detectives. Those would all be preceded by PTLW. And then we'd also like to change the name of Technology 6 to Introduction to Technology. I feel these changes just make the names a little more descriptive and easier for students and parents to understand what the classes entail.
I will entertain a motion to approve item 5.4, request to approve FMS Project Lead the Way and Technology course name changes.
I'll move.
Moved by Jonathan,
Second.
second by Sarah. Any discussion on the motion?
I appreciate the name change.
Thank you.
Same.
I think parents are going to really appreciate
Yeah.
the name change because 1, 2, 3, 4 doesn't really tell us what's happening in the classrooms.
Agree.
Roll call, Ms. Shepherd.
Turner?
Yes.
Segleri?
Yes.
Elter?
Yes.
Boomer?
Yes.
Hart? Yes. President Dookie?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. With 6 yes votes, the motion passes. And item 5.4, request to approve FMS Project Lead the Way and Technology Course name changes is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 6, superintendent's update.
Good evening. I'd like to begin with an update from Principal Keefe regarding Lower.
Hello, everyone. Since the last time we met, we had a PRC meeting, which is a Professional Relations Committee, on 12/11. That's with reps from FEA and myself. We have a monthly scheduled meeting. And after that meeting, I submit notes to HR if there's any follow-up. But at that meeting, they requested that I share this report, because it's so riveting, with staff. So I directed them to the newsletter because I put it in the newsletter, but I did share it with staff and then provide time for questions on, at our PLC on 12/13. So we are working with Oakland Schools. 2 consultants came and met with us, and then they came back last Thursday, the 14th, to observe, walk around. They spent a couple hours. I let staff know that they were going to be in the building, looking to support some of the systems. So just kind of a different zoom-in lens to look, and then we don't have a time yet to talk about it, but it will come soon, but to support systems that we do or do not have at Lower. So very open to working with them. We are working on some restorative practice training, additional training. So right now we have Juan from Culture and Climate from the district that spends some time with us, and we have Jody Cusmano that has some restorative practice training, but that is Ed in our building. So I know paraprofessionals have asked for additional training, and so have teachers. So we're looking at Margaret from UHS, the vice principal there, and also Juan to do some restorative practice training with our staff, probably at a PLC or maybe in February. Okay. So. Also working with the district and myself to do some update and review with our 20 CPI staff that have been trained, because we have 20 trained, which is great, but they've kind of been trained at different times, and they have this refresher, that full. So just to come together as a full CPI trained staff from Lower and make sure that our systems are aligned and that we all have the same thoughts. Curriculum and Instruction Department is working on a modified training to support new staff that have been hired, maybe not just at Lower, but in the district, that get hired at different times. So that's in progress. They're working on that. We continue to send medical and non-medical forms to Camille and Felicia and Stephanie. We had Honor Health come back out last week to review the space that we have identified, and I have a detail of who's doing what. So Lower is cleaning out the room. We are putting in a data drop, and the technology department was there that day. We're providing a phone for them, and we're replacing the existing door so that it will have a window in it. So that is our part of the deal. And Honor Health is providing all the technology that they need for that space and the furniture. And the person has been hired. She will begin the second week of January. However, they send her to specific training. So her first day at Lower is Thursday, February 1st. Since our PLC last week on Wednesday, it was suggested that could we begin the referral process now? We don't want to wait for February 1st, then send out letters, and then wait to get information back, and then maybe see kids in March. We'd like to start that process earlier. So they are working on that. They're trying to do some expediting of that situation, but I don't have a yes or a no. I have a maybe right now. So that was a great suggestion from Ms. Mickle. Thank you, Ms. Mickle. We continue to provide a para substitute for the empty para position spot, but I did interview another candidate today. We do have as Maurice said, we have a brainstorm session on Wednesday with the district and other representatives, so that will be great. And I believe that is it for me. Questions or no? Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, sorry, can I just real quick, I know you said medical, non-medical are getting sent to Camille and Felicia. Do those just when or if things come up, is that also communicated back to whether it be that specific family or families in terms of student that was involved and or other students that were affected by whatever happened? Does that make sense?
So there are incident reports. Anyone at any time can fill out an incident report and submit it to us. I do not call the family and say, your child hit a teacher today. It's an incident report, medical or non-medical, that's sent to the district.
Okay.
Yes, I'll do my update. Okay. Before I speak a little bit more on my update, I just want to make sure that there's no cabinet member department that has an update that they need to provide right now. Thank you. Seeing none. Unfortunately, she is not here, but I do want to acknowledge Terry Faison, our current HR director. She is not here, but Terry has resigned. Her last day will be December 31st. Just want to thank Terry for her support, her service, all that she has done in the HR department. We wish her well on her future endeavors. But again, was hoping that she would be here to hear this, but did still want to publicly acknowledge Terry and thank her for her service to Ferndale schools. Also, Andy, you want to come up here for a second, please? Because you're here. So everyone here may not know, but this will be Andy's last day, last board meeting. He and his family are making a big jump, leaving the state, which means he will no longer be with us. I just want you to know the amount of tears that Felicia has literally shed since learning that you will no longer be with us. But I don't know if I even have all the words to express how much we thank you for your support to Ferndale schools. You go above and beyond in all that you do. And Brandon has some very large shoes to fill, but just on behalf of Ferndale schools, want to thank you. Thank you so much for all that you've done, and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure working here. This is a fantastic community, and I feel like I've been here a long time. I've really become part of the family. It's very difficult for me to move on, but I'm very appreciative of everybody here, and this has been a fantastic place to work.
We appreciate you, Andy, and all the work you've given us. I don't want to have to take anyone else.
Right.
We are gonna miss you, and you might have to send Brandon a little note every now and then.
Yeah.
I hope you come back, to
Right.
see the
Ribbon
results
cutting.
of all the hard work you've put in, because very much appreciative of everything you've done with all the bond work and everything, because it hasn't been a small project, so thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Andy.
So I'll go last. Wait.
Yep, I was just
Hold
gonna say, I
on,
wanna make
hold
sure.
on. No,
Wait, Andy, wait.
Trying to walk away.
Andy, come back, please. And I will not cry. I am such a crybaby. But when he first told me, I mean, he looked at me, he was like, "Are you all right?" I couldn't hold it. It was just too much in one day. I was like, this is too much. But I want to tell you, Andy, I started here in April. Andy immediately brought me into the fold, got me up to speed on the projects, introduced me to everyone. He's been nothing but helpful and nothing but supportive. If it's regarding the bond, he's there. If it's the day-to-day maintenance, he's there. He showed up at Lower when we had the smoke in the building. I was like, who called you? He's
Right.
like, I got the call. Somebody called me. And he's there. I appreciate him so much. And your company is really losing a fantastic team member. And thank you so much for everything. Thank you. I do truly mean that. Thank you.
Also, Andy, I'm sorry, real quick. Those cookies you made for us were amazing. Just want you to know that. So you left us with the gift.
Yeah, he made cookies.
Like I was supposed to share them. And
I know, I was gonna say left extras, I don't know.
I ate them for breakfast.
Yep, they didn't make it. Thank you, Andy. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Item 7, informational item 7.1, budget to actual report.
Hello. Hi. This is the budget to actual for November. Do you have any questions?
I do.
Okay.
So the school administration, the difference, that wasn't explained. I don't know if you could just give a little high level, the 4%, roughly a little over the 4% difference. What's in the school administration expenditure?
Oh, let's see. Let me see. School administration. That is the principal's office. So, where to go? We're spending less money or more money this year in the principal's office. So, but I'm not exactly sure why. So I'll research it and I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I think you were right, actually, at first on it's less.
It's less, yeah.
it's less.
Expenditure's gone down.
We're spending less. Yeah, something in the principal's office.
We'll be sure to get that answer for you ASAP.
Oh, and yes, and so I have some exciting news. We have our new accountant started today. His name's Christian Wright, and he's sitting over here. So we're excited.
Welcome.
Welcome, Christian.
Anything else?
He's like, please don't make me
I know.
come.
Please don't.
But,
We're
sorry,
gonna
this
make
is
you
like
come say
this
hello.
is a little bit of an initiation. This is what you have to speak.
Yes, well, my name is Christian Wright. It's a pleasure being here. I'm coming from Wayne State, where I served 5 years, starting in grant accounting, worked my way up to senior accountant. You know, I am a teacher at heart. I love education. Wow, it's such a pleasure. I mean, just seeing the kids do their thing. We went over to the elementary school, and it's just like, wow, this is why I'm here. Just to see why I do what I do, and it's going to be a pleasure. So, thank you.
Welcome,
Yep.
Christian.
Yep.
Welcome.
Yep.
Item 8, consideration of any full consent agenda items. We didn't have any. Item 9, our annual organization and committee of the whole meeting is Monday, January 8th. It's at 6 p.m.
7.
At 7 p.m. Item 10, our next regular board meeting is Monday, January pride or comments?
I'll go first. First, I wanted to thank Terry for her service and everything that she has done for Ferndale during her time here. We have greatly appreciated, and I am excited for her future endeavors. I wasn't able to say it earlier, but for the lower presentation, I was just very wowed. I wanted to thank Katie for her intentions on giving her students as many resources as she can, and her focus on their development. I always love seeing her presentations, and I didn't have it in my notes. I really also enjoyed her programming of cross-grade learning. I thought that was really good, working with using older students through UHS, robotics teams, and just within her building. I think that's a great thing that we do here that we can do more of. And then lastly, because this is our last meeting before the new year, I just want to say happy holidays to everyone out there. I hope you all enjoy the time with your families, and I will see you all in the new year. That is it for me.
I'll go next if we're, I want to also thank Ms. Jeffrey and everybody at Upper, all the parents who have done all this team and done all the Lego leagues and volunteers, because I know it is a lot of their time. But the kids, I heard from several kids and how much they enjoyed all of it, so thank you to all of them for putting in that time. I wanted to shout out our band, orchestra, and dance and choir. Was able to see them over the last few weeks for at least the elementary and then the middle school, high school for the dance this weekend. And it's just a ton of fun. It's great to see the band and orchestra kids and seeing them and how much they improve so quickly. It's been a lot of fun to see. But then also seeing the dance and seeing the youth program that they have that started all the way through our middle school and our high school and our dance team all being involved with it was a lot of fun, and the community all coming out. So just want to give a shout out. The program from last year to this year has improved so much, and you can just see how much better all the students are, and it was really enjoyable.
I'm going to piggyback off of that one then, because my point of pride is growth. I'm really proud of just the growth I've seen this past year as we're closing out the year throughout the whole school community. It's very intentional, and through the positive moments, through the hard moments. I'm glad to be in a community where we don't, when there's conflict, we don't let it not beget growth. That's really important. So everything I've attended, at every parent group, at everything I've seen with administration, within our own board, a lot of intentional growth with the staff, and I see it reflected in our students. I know my kids and their friends, just in the past 4 months, I've seen so much growth in their emotional intelligence and their ability to express their autonomy beautifully, sometimes frustratingly. And I know that is directly, that comes directly from the intention put behind our staff first and foremost, and then everyone else in our community and our district that supports our staff and our students. So thank you, everyone, for your growth.
I want to shout out the lower team for helping the second graders go to Japan and all the parents and volunteers who were involved. It was awesome to see those pictures and remember when my kids got to travel internationally in the school day. Shout out to the Ferndale High School and Ferndale Youth Assistance folks who were involved in the lock-in on Friday night. Lots of fun was had by all. I'm not getting paid for the bus driver shout out, but another shout out to the bus drivers for helping out when Lower had to evacuate on a cold day. I was really happy to see them step up. It's part of the community. It's part of Andy showing up and other people showing up. I know that our boys and girls basketball teams have had some great wins, and there's been some really fun success in the very early meets of the swimming season. So, it was fun on my commute home from work to just think about all the things that have been going on, in addition to the academics and the stuff we've been, able to participate in here. The kids have had a great end. I know there's a lot of really, really exhausted teachers in the world right now, in the country right now, in the city right now. People are worn out, and lots of just exhaustion across education. So I really hope that some good rest and restoration can happen during the break. I'm watching Diana Mickles yawn over there as she wanted me to feel supported in my comments. So we see you, teachers. We know you're exhausted. We really wish you healthy and restful breaks.
For me, ditto what everybody else said. Last week, board got to tour the new lower elementary, and it is amazing, and I'm really excited about seeing students and teachers and staff in that new space. And I couldn't even fathom what it would have looked like when it was just, the groundbreaking, and just to be in that building. I am thankful for the community for voting and supporting the bond. Thankful for Andy for leading the district and the operations and facilities team and the construction crew through the whole building process. You'll truly be missed. So thank you for all of your support and time here in the district. And I also wanted to reflect on, it was just 8 weeks ago when we had a very stressful board meeting, but I want to say how thankful I am for both Camille and Felicia for stepping up and being our interim and our deputy interim, and for leading us through this change and seeing in just 8 weeks how much progress we've made and how much has been done under your leadership. So thank you very much for that. And lastly, I'd like to say thank you to our awesome board president for leading us as well through this. The board has taken up a collection for you from the holidays. You, in addition to the teachers and the staff, deserve a break, so please enjoy your time off. We thank you for also leading the board and the district through the time of the past couple of months. So you're awesome, so thank you. Thank you.
However you want to go ahead. Oh, man. Okay. You wanna go? Okay, so I'll start. So I had an opportunity to visit CASA, which is now housed in Oak Park at Nova. And it was just wonderful seeing our students as well as students from other surrounding districts in action. If you didn't see the press release, there is a new director. Her name is Ms. Catherine. I don't want to mess up the, we call her CJ. Literally, that is what she goes by. She also is an instructor there. And came very highly recommended, was very, very confident in her abilities while being a part of her interview panel, and just excited to see her in action as well as all of our students. And just I met with her and hearing some of the plans for expanding the programming to reach different demographics of students that may not typically be able to participate in some of the CASA classes was just very exciting for me. So just want to shout out all of the CASA staff, students, as well as the new director there. I also would like to give a shout out to this is a group that is not always acknowledged that much, but speaking of the transition that's recently taken place, the central office and leadership team have been amazingly supportive, doing so much more than what is asked of them. I think I can speak for Felicia and myself when I say that, just appreciative of their support, them doing more, going above and beyond every day to ensure that all of our departments are up and running, high functioning, and we're able to support the schools in the way that they deserve to be supported. So I just want to thank the central office and leadership team members for everything. And then, since you started giving gifts, Felicia and I also have gifts for the board. We want to thank you for making this transition not necessarily seamless, but very good. Very good. We are very supported. We feel supported, and we thank you for everything. We see how much you do every day to support our schools, and we are just so thankful to you all. So this is a very small token of our appreciation. We wish you all happy holidays and rest. These are gifts to support in your rest. Felicia, are you also giving them some words of happy holidays? Thank you for all of your support. I hope all of you have an opportunity to have some downtime and just veg out, be with your families. And it truly has been a whirlwind, but also an honor to be here. And I appreciate the work you've been able to do, right? The Ferndale families have just been tremendously gracious. I'm gonna put that back. And thank you for the opportunity. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so I get to close this out. So, one, Mary let us off with the rest, which is, I always shout this out at break time. I truly believe this. When the breaks come up, please unplug and use every second of that break. It's yours. We should all take advantage of them. So teachers, everyone who gets a break, use it. Whatever, however short or however long it is, I champion this. Use every minute of it. So for the board, you technically get a break, but if things go down, you know I'm reaching out. And so I appreciate all of you through the past year and the past 8 weeks. 8 weeks, it seems like it's been longer.
Yeah, I know.
I appreciate the gift too. And then central admin, you all stole what I was gonna say. So the central office, the foundation of holding us down through the past 8 weeks, we appreciate you. I know your break is a little less, I'm sorry about that, but use whatever days you have to the best of your ability. Hopefully the people at the top are they're not asking too much on the days that you're here when everyone else is like enjoying their break. And then for the 3 women at the table who are not on the board officially, all I gotta say is the 3 of you in the past 8 weeks have made it feel like 8 months. Like the amount of work that has gotten done in the past 8 weeks. A little rocky, but I wouldn't say it was seamless. I mean, definitely a little rocky. But you held us down, right? Like, when we've asked some questions and communities ask some questions, and I mean, you're coming with answers like, this is what we got. Like, it may not be pretty, but this is what I got. Like, and we appreciate you for that. And we know it can be a bit much. Your names are on the bottom. Yep, got it. So we too have come with a little token of appreciation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we know that you all don't have a break, so sorry about that. Technically, I don't have a break either at work, so I feel your pain.
Okay.
But,
Thank you.
We'll be here.
Thank you very
We
much.
appreciate you. Take time, whatever that time is, everyone in the audience and who will watch the video later, whatever that time is, whatever your break is, whatever holiday, if any, that you celebrate, please enjoy it to the max.